Okay. Well, it's always an honor to play in this game, to compete in this for the AFC Championship, and really proud of what our staff and team have done to get to this point. Obviously, it's a very strenuous competition, and so to be here and to be one of the final four teams playing this weekend it's a great privilege, and we embrace it, and are willing to jump in here with our best competitive effort, week of preparation, and be ready to go against a great football team. Andy, who I have tremendous respect and admiration for, is, as usual, done a great job with his football team. It's a well balanced team. They've pretty much led from wire to wire in the AFC. Had a great year, great record, outstanding team. Do a lot of things well, obviously, and so that'll be a big challenge for us, and we're looking forward to the opportunity to compete. And we'll see it on Sunday night.
I encourage you to raise your hand if you have a question, please.
Bill, the forecast for Sunday is temperatures in the single digits, wind chill below zero. How does that impact preparations for the game and perhaps
Yeah, we're going
playing
to
out
get
the
ready
game?
for the Chiefs, whatever it is, it is.
Do you mind playing in severe cold?
Love to play in a championship game. Schedule it wherever you want. We'll be there.
Does it change the play calling? Does it make it harder to throw?
I don't know. It's Wednesday. We'll see what happens Sunday night. Right now, we're getting ready for the Chiefs.
Coach, obviously,
We're going to, okay, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Coach, obviously, you facing a quarterback with a great skill set. However, in his first full season in the NFL, do you think that Patrick Mahomes' relative inexperience can play into your hands?
I think he's a great player on a great team that's very well coached. They have a great scheme and a great system. He's got a ton of weapons, so it'll be tough to handle, as will their entire offense, as will their entire team. So we'll need our best game. We'll need our best effort, and that's what we're preparing to give.
Patrick Mahomes' ability to extend plays is obviously notable. What would be the key for your defense in those situations to how to react to that?
Yeah. Well, it would depend on the play, what the situation was, and so forth. He has great ability to throw, and he can keep plays alive, but that can come in a lot of different situations. So whatever they are, we'll try to follow our rules like we always do and defend it the best we can.
Coach, is there any difference at all preparing for a team that you already faced in the regular season compared to a team that maybe you haven't seen recently?
Yeah. Look, we're going to do the best we can to get ready for this game. Last week we did the best we could to get ready for the Chargers. That's the way it is every week. So we'll take whatever our resources are, whatever the opportunities are, and do the best we can to be as well prepared and ready to go as we'll need to be in Kansas City. Doesn't really matter what else, something else could be. It's what this is.
Coach, compared to that game in October, the location and the weather will be vastly different. Are the teams also very different from what they were then?
Yeah, absolutely. The game was quite a while ago. I know, we've gone through a lot of experiences, learned a lot. I think we're better than we were. I'm sure they're better than they were. See what happens Sunday night.
Tom Curran.
Bill, the Chiefs were 3 for 4 on fourth down last week. I think they were 12 for 15 for the year. How does their ability to not only go for it but succeed so frequently on fourth down maybe change the way you guys will approach the game, or does it at all?
Yeah, they're pretty good on every down in every situation. So first, second, third, fourth down, they're good at all of it. So we're gonna have to be at our best in all situations.
Bill, speaking of differences between the teams, the Chiefs have different players at safety. Houston is back compared to that Week 6 meeting when they didn't have Barry and Murray in Houston in the starting lineup. Last week, 0 for 9 on third down were the Colts' best third down offense during the regular season. What are the differences that you see in Kansas City's defense, particularly in that situation, from when you first faced them?
Well, they're pretty much of a game plan defense, so it shifts a little bit from week to week. It depends on who they're playing and what they're trying to do. So we'll see what they give us. I don't know. We'll have to be ready for the variety of things that they do. And obviously, they have 3 outstanding players on the front that are hard to deal with. So we'll have to handle everybody, but certainly those 3 guys.
Bill, one of those guys up front for the Chiefs, Chris Jones, has had a really good year. Josh McDaniels was talking about him the other day. It seems like one of the things he's able to do relatively consistently is bat down passes. Is that something that you guys have to try to call plays around, or is that more on Tom to kind of realize where he is and have a feel for what might work when he's in front there trying to get his hands up?
All right. Well, we deal with that every week. It's always an issue. There are guys in front of the quarterback when he throws the ball. So it's a combination of a lot of things. What the route is, the protection that goes with the route, and the location of the defenders when the quarterback releases the ball. So I'd say they're all different on every single play. There are variables there, but we try to do the best we can to keep the pocket clean in front of the quarterback. Quarterback's got to do the best he can to work around whatever the obstacles are, if there are any. And the receivers have to position themselves in locations that are where we're able to get the ball to him cleanly. So we'll need good team execution on that. But he's definitely a problem. I mean, he's a problem as a rusher, and he's a disruptive player in terms of batting down balls or affecting the throwing lanes, even if the ball's not batted down with the quarterback. And the receiver have to make adjustments, and that's a degree of disruption, if you will.
Bill, is containing Patrick Mahomes just as important as getting pressure on him, and how do you balance that in this game?
Yeah, again, we're gonna have to stop the whole offense. It's not one guy. Quarterback's good, the backs are good, tight ends are good, receivers are good, line's good, coach is good. I mean, they're all good. So we're gonna have to play good team defense, and that includes everything. So they're all important.
Bill, when you're going against a team that has multiple elite options in the passing game, like Hill and Kelsey, can you describe the challenge of just figuring out how you want to prioritize basically your defense and how to take them away?
Yeah, well, that's what every team's dealt with all year with them. So that's what it comes down to, figuring that out, trying to balance it between rush and coverage, and how you want to cover, and there's plenty of other good players out there too. So you just have to decide how you want to handle it. Conley, Watkins, you don't want to be light on those guys either. So they have a great offense. They have a great set of players. And again, Andy does a great job of putting them in with the defense in compromising positions where you have to make choices, and the quarterback makes choices based on that. They're hard to stop. That's why they lead the league in points, lead the league in yards, lead the league in scoring, lead the league in everything. They're really good.
Bill, in your experience and opinion, just having coached against Andy for so many years, how much of his willingness to implement and assimilate ideas that might not come from, himself, whether they college or any other source, it doesn't matter to him. He'll just do what is best for his offense, and that's helped him evolve over the years.
He's done a great job of that, probably as good as any coach that I've seen. Does a great job of taking new ideas, new concepts, and utilizing them in a productive and efficient way, depending on what he's working with and how they fit into what he's doing or his personnel, or depending on exactly what we're talking about here. But I'd say he's very creative. He's got a lot of new ideas, or takes on new ideas, new concepts, and develops them within the framework of his system to just create more problems for the defense. He does a great job of that. See it every year. And he continues to, even over the course of the year, from when we played him in October, has come up with more things to create more of a problem. So he's always tough to go against. He does a great job of game planning, and he does an excellent job of developing an offensive system that's it's very hard to defend. And they have great players doing it. So
Bill, how big of a challenge is this defensive line for your offensive line? And when you have a team that has multiple guys who can rush the passer, how important is communication in a matchup like this?
Well, it's important because the Chiefs do a good job of moving people around in their front. They have different alignments and different looks, different personnel combinations, and some game plan pressure, so they could run a blitz that they haven't run before. That wouldn't be unusual for them, or run coverage that they maybe haven't run in a month or 2 months, or so. There's an element to the game planning from them that's unique to this game. We don't know. I don't know if they know yet. Maybe they're just putting it together now. I don't know, but might be something they've done. Might be something that's a little bit new. So communication and making sure that we have everything accounted for is going to be important. But if they just line up and play straight, that's a problem too, because they have a very, very disruptive front, very athletic front. If those guys catch an edge on you, or get a step into the gap, they can blow the whole play up. So we'll have to do a good job on all those guys.
Bill, they have a corner who hasn't really played a whole lot this year until late in the season in Ward, who I think started last 2 games regular season and then the playoff game.
Right.
What have you seen from him in the time that he's played, and what's allowed him to kind of catch on here and establish a role?
Yeah, but he's really been their third corner in nickel, and Fuller moves inside. But they're in that a lot, nickel and dime, and sub defenses. They're in those a lot, so he plays a lot. He's long, he's fast. They traded for him from Dallas. He didn't really play much until later in the year, and then got an opportunity to play well. He's gets his hands on the receivers. He's broken up a number of passes on him. He's probably got, I don't know, 4 or 5 pass breakups in a couple games here, 2-3 games. So he's been a disruptive guy out there for him. That's stepped in and done a good job for him. So really the 2 guys in the secondary that played a ton for him, that are no longer playing or aren't playing much. One's off the team now, so that's been obviously a shift for him in the secondary, even in the latter part of the season, the last 2-3 weeks of the year.
Bill, in the passing game, Kareem Hunt filled a particular role. How different is it? It seems as if the frequency hasn't changed at all with Damian in there. How different is it in terms of the routes and where they're finding him as opposed to Hunt?
Yeah, well, again, they have a very, extensive passing game. They do a lot of different things with their passing game, so that includes the backs and the tight ends and the receivers. They utilize all their personnel in a lot of different ways, and multiple players in the same spots as well. So, and some of it's game plan. So some things might get a new route they haven't seen before that you're not working on because of something that they want to attack you with. So, the backs are definitely a problem in the passing game. Andy and Patrick do a real good job of utilizing them, as they always have. And they're a problem to cover, they're a problem to tackle, and schematically they give you issues too. So we'll have to deal with all of it.
Bill, yesterday Matthew Slater recognized Albert McClellan and Ramon Humber specifically for the contributions they've made on special teams. What did you identify in both of them, though you had experience with Ramon previously, when you acquire them, and how have they helped your coverage units in particular?
Yeah, well, both guys are experienced. As you said, Ramon a little bit in our system. That was one training camp, but very experienced in the league between Baltimore and Ramon and New Orleans and Buffalo. So they played a lot of football, but they've had a lot of accountability, dependability, good communicators. Punt team is that's a tough spot to play. Those guys have done a good job there, and then the coverage that they've given us on those units. Obviously, McClellan's given us some big plays on the punt rushes as well. So, but they've been really professional in their approach, their attitude, their dependability, their toughness, their consistency. That's all been really good. So glad we have them, and they've, I think, really kind of solidified those units because they're on all of them. So it's helped us a lot.
Bill, Damian Williams came here for a visit, I believe, in 2017. Is there anything you remember about him during that time, or anything that sticks out to him during that visit?
No, I mean, he's a good football player, smart, versatile, can do a lot of different things, run the ball, catch, pass protect. So we had a good visit with him. It was he's a good guy to to bring in a visit and get to know. Things didn't really work out on that at that time, but not surprised to see him doing well at all.
Bill, yesterday, Dante spoke about how important it's been for him to be available to you guys consistently throughout the course of the season, how that's been a little bit of a nice change for him versus some years past. I'm wondering, how important has it been for your defense, and has having him out there consistently maybe allowed you guys to build in terms of some of the things that you've added to your defense maybe late in the season?
Yeah, no question. He's been Dante's had a real good year for us, and his personal versatility is good because of the number of things we face defensively that we have to adjust to, but it allows us to do other things defensively. He's a very good communicator, again, at all levels, so whether it's a linebacker or defensive outside linebacker, inside linebacker, if you will, part of the defensive line and pass rush. He's very, very good at in all those areas to communicate, identify, recognize things, get us into the right call or spout that we're supposed to be in. And he's a very instinctive player to just, again, kind of knows what to do, where to fit in rushes, how to compensate on coverages, on play action, and things like that. So he's he's a versatile player. Certainly having him out there on a lot of downs, on all 3 downs, including 4th down, really, in some games. He's contributed for us there, but on all 3 downs, running game, passing game, pass rush, pass coverage, off the line, on the line, he's done a lot of things. Had a really good year.
Coach, it's been a few years, but obviously your last visit to Kansas City was not a good memory. Is that something you think you and Tom can use as motivation?
Yeah, I don't think that game has anything to do with this one. We're going to get ready for Sunday.